bury, but these seas are going up. Nothing but up. Nothing but up. Nothing but up. Nothing but up for me. Nothing but up. The names are going up. Prayers lifting up. A pressure burning up. Your term is running up. Nature going up. Ancestors rising up. Thought we were buried, but these seas are going up. Nothing but up. Nothing but up. Nothing but up. Nothing but up for me. Nothing but up. Them names are going up. Prayers lifting up. A pressure burning up. Your term is running up. Nature going up. Ancestors rising up. Thought we were buried, but these seas are going up. Nothing but up. Nothing but up. Nothing but up. Nothing but up for me. Nothing but up. Them names are going up. Prayers lifting up. A pressure burning up. Your term is running up. Nature going up. Ancestors rising up. Thought we were buried, but these seas are going up.
And bring back today sustenance that we need, as we rise. Peace, peace, family. Most Dev Hotep. Everybody's in. Just grounding with a little burning of the sage today. This is, we love our Wednesdays. Our mighty, wonderful women Wednesdays, and yeah, we're going to talk about that specifically today. It's just something about Wednesday and the goddess energy. So I don't know if you have any sage, or have you been burning sage? Also with Rona, this is a good herb to burn. It kills all germs in the air. So it's not just a feel-good thing. Actually, scientifically, it's proven that it kills airborne diseases. So, yeah, like some sage, family. Really, let's have a come to sage moment today. Also, want to let people know that today, let's get Melophonic in here. Today is the last day Let you get it done. Uh-huh. And yeah, here we are, family. What's up with it, brother?
Hey, how you doing, man? Thank you for grounding us with Mother Sage, man.
I say, no question.
Yeah. Also want to put up a prayer for Ayano and her family. She said like something came up and she wasn't able to attend. So yeah, praying all is well for her. And also, yeah, I think her mom's birthday is tomorrow. So shouts out to her mom.
Shout out Sister Ayana, man, and her family and the Queen Mother, no question. The last day today is tax day, so it's the last day to get your taxes done.
In the times of the 1930s, and how they were instituting like really creative fundraising methods to like hit all of the important holidays for our folks at the beginning of the year, and also like encourage folks to save and invest in cooperatives. And so we're like picking it back up at the bottom of page 117, where in 1931 it says Ella Jo Baker released a long report titled "On Promoting Consumer Clubs" throughout the Young Negro Cooperatives League. They had a press service, so you know they were getting the word out with the newsletters and the interviews and all of that stuff, the conference reports. And she's saying that unemployment is so high um, during these times of the Great Depression, and that consumer cooperation can take the lead by organizing churches, lodges, and clubs to form buying clubs. She says if the average family spent $3 on food per week in those days, if they took a third of their money and spent it in the buying club, they'd be able to get discounted prices and everyone's money would go further.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to like talking about how or like advocating for this, she actually like laid it out. And Dr. Nemhart like includes some of what she laid uh, out where she outlined how to do this consumer club. And so she says, first, you want to organize members of the local Young Negro Cooperatives League chapter that you're a part of, and get a sense of what their talents are, and then delegate tasks accordingly. That's hella smart.
Yeah, for real.
She's saying, contact the leaders of all organized groups in the community, start with a letter that is respectful of their time, and follow up with a face to face meeting. And she really, okay, so we really like, this is how she did it. Okay. After this, you leave literature at the first meeting and make a follow up appointment with anyone difficult to convince. You can also find out who else that difficult person interacts with and approach them through their friends. Okay. And so after you ask to convene a meeting with the group, specifically to create a buying club, then you want to prepare for the meeting by outlining a short address that includes a brief history of consumer cooperatives and anticipates questions and concerns.
Notes, especially
Yeah,
with organizing, they try to give you some basic rules and principles to follow. She giving us the addition to the Black Print family on
bro,
how to form a consumer co-op.
this really is like a script or like
Yeah,
a step-by-step process. All right, do this, do this. Wow. All right,
yeah,
bro.
that's normally how they do it when you organizing, man. They give you the
Yeah.
step by step.
We need to take notes, bro, because we need to do something like this.
Man, snapshot family. This is the snapshot time.
Yeah. Okay. And so after you start preparing, you allow for discussion after the presentation, but take care that the meeting does not exhaust itself in discussion alone. Oh, Ashe. Focus
Mm.
attention upon the necessity for immediate action and suggest or get someone to suggest the formation of a committee. All right. All right. So
Mm.
self-selecting, saying like, yes, I believe this should happen and I want to help make it work. And so after that initial meeting or follow-up meeting, you have members leave a cash deposit for the first weekly order and explain that the business cannot be conducted with credit.
Mm.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, it says it right there. From
Yeah,
the
yeah,
from
yeah. Can't be scared to ask for that cash, man.
yeah,
Can't. And that's where I get. That's where I normally would have got stuck at. Like, my people need. We struggling. Man,
yeah,
this was during the Great Depression, man.
yeah. Okay, and then from the first, stress the virtues of a central buying committee for all the clubs, organizing this as fast as the clubs are formed. And a central buying committee is basically so like if I'm setting up a buying club in my neighborhood and Tut setting up one in his neighborhood, the central organizing committee would like take all of the orders and put them in at once and like help all of that distribution so that we can further like be efficient and reduce our costs.
What's up? Teamwork. Like
Um,
quarterback.
she says set in action an education committee in each group and assign some member of the Young Negro Cooperative League Council to act as a counselor to every club that is formed.
Work.
Well,
Right there. Right there. We can start that today. Start
man,
that today. You
I'm
know,
kind
I've been
of amazed by how like dynamic Ella Joe Baker is. Like,
the queen. I mean, bruh, every page is something new added to her philosophy, and not only just what she talked about. This is work she did. This is sweat. This is pounding the pay. This is what we call an organizing, pounding the pavement and
mm,
organizing people. You know how many people she used this method on and through?
bro, she
You
was
know what
like
I'm
doing tours across the country, so like helping to set up these things, giving folks this information, bro.
saying?
Wow,
Lift
man,
her up.
it's a
Like she's one of
testament.
the most dynamic, bruh.
Yeah, bro, it's a testament to like if you know what you're doing and you got the plan, and then you just like let people make their way into the plan.
Yeah,
Like make
that's it.
sure it leaves space for folks to feel at home in it.
That's
Um,
what's up.
and so the bottom of page 118 is talking about how Ella Joe Baker reminded people that the experience they have as on their own, they could modify and strengthen like whatever they're setting in motion. And she made sure to lay out very practical things to advance the movement and encourage people to pass the strategy on. She also reiterated that it really is important to try and develop these things in existing organizations. She says it avoids the skepticism which most people have developed towards stock selling ventures. It touches upon the very pressing problem of unemployment, and it shows the consumer how he might spend the money that he must spend anyway to his own advantage, to his best
Mm-hmm.
advantage, it says.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No
Yeah,
question.
bro, like we really do vote with our dollars, um,
That,
especially after that like Supreme Court case that said like corporations have a right to speak basically, and they could put in as much money into uh, political campaigns as they want. It's like
yeah.
if we're not intentional about where we put our money, let's say Home Depot or In and Out, two places that I would normally frequent, but they support Trump, and I'm not gonna vote my
Mm-hmm.
dollars into those companies so that they can put it on, uh, so that they can pass it on to Trump, and he can continue with this craziness that he's been, launching.
Yeah, so let's say that you are a person who really hates Trump. Like you really like, I'm not, forget that guy. You got a F Trump, plastered on your wall. You go to the rallies. You hate Kanye for his Make America Great hat. You know what I'm saying? Wearing self. But then you turn around and you shop at Walmart and you eat McDonald's. And then you vote Biden. Like you get the I voted sticker and it says Biden, but 80 to 90% of your consumerism or the money that you spend in this economy goes to Trump supporters.
Mm,
So you're voting with your dollars. Your mouth says one thing, but your footsteps and your cash says everything else. You know what I'm
gotcha.
saying? So we must speak in unison with what we want to do. So if we say we want to vote Green Party, or you want to vote Kanye, you don't want to vote Trump, you got to make sure your dollars align with that, family. You want to support the community, make sure your dollars align with that. You know what I'm saying? We got to be holistic here. And just voting, that's one part. We
Yeah,
vote every day.
yeah,
Our dollars, our actions, our meetings, coming to these lives. This is voting. Let's stay on the right path, family.
yeah. RG Footprint says Lowe's is where it's at. Donated millions to rebuild black businesses. They
Huh.
also have a black CEO. So, uh,
Lowe's Hardware.
yeah, Lowe's Hardware.
I've never been. Thank you.
Let's
I
do
need to
it.
start one of those. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Thank you. That's, man.
Yeah. All right, so we on page 119 now of Collective Courage, talking about Ella Baker, women's leadership and youth leadership. And so it starts off by saying that the Young Negro Cooperatives League endeavored to put young people in control and to treat women as equal to men. And Ella Jo Baker, as we know, was a pioneer in grassroots community-based social activism and democratic leadership development, as well as youth development and women's equality. In a speech she made in 1969 that entitled "The Black Women in the Civil Rights Struggle," she said that I don't think you can go through the freedom movement without finding the backbone of the support of the movement were women.
Right, righteous. I say righteous.
Bro, we already know that, bro. We've been seeing it throughout the timeline, throughout all of the pages. Bro, it's
Even today, even Repair Nations. That's why I wish we need to get more. We're gonna have a week of just sister activation. So the sisters on here, the queens on here, please DM us so we can get you in conversation. So you guys can host a week of this. You know, even with the organization right now, we got queens behind the scenes doing amazing work. You know, they're just so busy. When you guys are so busy, just lighten the load, give some to the kings, and show up. Let us know. So please DM us, Queens. We're looking for some sisters that want to take over the book club for a week.
Yeah, it's gonna be week 9 where the whole chapter is about women. We got 3 ladies signed up so far. So if you want to get involved, let us know. And we'll tell you what's available. And so Ella Jo Baker was arguing that the role of women in the cooperative movement was like super important, which is why she worked with housewives leagues and other groups. And in the speech that we referred to, she said that one of the guiding principles has to be that we cannot lead a struggle that involves masses of people without getting the people to understand what their potentials are, what their strengths are. Bro, it's real.
That's what's up.
And so in the 60s, when she helped co-found the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, she encouraged young people to struggle against tendencies of elitism and male domination. She believed that racial democratic practice at both the personal and organizational levels was essential to social transformation. It definitely starts within, bro. Like, we can't build democratic, free organizations if we're like still holding on to that capitalism inside, or at least it's gonna be really hard.
That's right.
And her biographer had noted that the strategy of racial uplift in the early and mid 20th century was rooted in the notion of that the educated elite would skillfully guide the race towards progress. On the one hand, lobbying and litigating for reforms, and on the other hand, grooming and socializing the lower class elements to prepare themselves for integration. But Ella Jo Baker was like really not about that. She was more grassroots from the beginning. And she believed that Black leadership had to be emphasized as well as poor people's voices amplified, because in absolutely every facet of social life, the opposite pressures and privileges are in force. And so it's not about trying to convince the so-called well-to-do to guide and educate us. It's about us guiding and educating ourselves and looping them into our movements.
No question. Make sure that their voices is heard. Because there's certain things that you don't go through when you're waking up and satin sheets, compared to the person who still, they can't afford to feed their family. So it's a different holler when they get up there and start speaking, So we gotta lift each other up.
Yeah. And so as we go on to page 120, to wrap up our readings for Collective Courage, we're seeing that Ella Jo Baker's biographer is talking about how the YNCL and Ella Jo Baker sought to empower women and young people to fight for their rights, and especially to fashion their own economic alternatives. The Young Negro Cooperatives League was crucial in shaping her own political thinking. And so the process of setting up cooperatives, establishing common priorities, solidifying democratic methods and decision-making, and building communications networks that encourage people at the grassroots to engage in social transformation and change. And as they began changing themselves, each other and the world around them changed simultaneously. And so that was her goal. And so her experiments at the Young Negro Cooperatives League it says her biographer says that foreshadowed how she moved and worked with SNCC 30 years later. It says because both organizations were independent of the moderate mainstream Black organizations of the time, and they focused on grassroots leadership, education, democratic decision making, and a step-by-step process of working towards long-term goals.
Man,
Step-by-step transformative process.
work.
And so yeah, this part of the work is just talking about how because she had her like coming up or upbringing in the cooperative movement and in mutual aid societies, she was able to develop those ideas about how to do grassroots participation and leadership development, and then bring that into the Works Progress Agency, a federal program that she worked on afterwards. She was able to bring it to the NAACP's field office when she became their chief field officer 10 years after she started or helped start the Young Negro Cooperatives League. And so, because as the director, she studied democratic governance, democratic economic participation, promoted youth leadership, Black women's leadership, and observed that these ideals in practice, and made sure that the ideals that they were bringing forth were actually in practice being used, rather than being some theoretical thing that you find on, but not in the culture.
Righteous. Righteous. Duocracy. You know. Don't just talk about it, be about it, fam.
Yeah, and so we'll hop down to the bottom of this page to wrap it up. It's talking about how while Baker is increasingly becoming recognized for her influence on our notion of democratic grassroots leadership, she is still rarely recognized as an early leader in consumer cooperation. The white cooperative movement does not claim her, and only some elements of the Black movement recognize her contribution.
That's what
This
we're
is
just
another
talking about.
example of how the African American cooperative movement has had a strong but hidden influence on the theory and practice, as well as the personal development of many African Americans and their organization. Even many who know some of the history are underwhelmed by its significance for some reason, Dr. Nimhart says.
Daddy?
No question.
Yeah, and so, it's always an honor to read a bit more about Ella Jo Baker and what the Young Negro Cooperatives League were doing. Man, I'm just blown away by that like blow by blow of how to set up a buying club, because I feel like it's still relevant today.
Yeah. Definitely needed. I'm thinking about starting one with my family, man. You know, I said it the other day about toilet paper, but I'm serious, you know. I'm glad we just got those step by steps, you know. That's the role of leadership, to see what's useful and discard what's not. Well, it's a good philosophy to go by with leadership. And that's something good on our journey. Like, ooh, we need that now. Ooh, we need that now. Ooh. And it's really shocking that she hasn't been on the Mount Rushmore of Black excellence and commitment to our liberation. But she's right there, you know, right there. And shout out all the queens that do the things that y'all been doing behind the scenes and don't get enough glory. Women deserve a national holiday. More than just Mother's Day. You know, almost every day, but at least every Wednesday, every mother should be, you know what I'm saying, relaxing. Or if they working, they should get holiday pay. Let's push for that. You know, that's just a little rant that me and brother be talking about, man. We love and appreciate the queen so much. So yeah, man, this is another day to y'all testament, to y'all great contribution. And so what would that look like? Costco or better? What are you talking about for the buying club? Man, we knocking Walmart out the water. You already know. R-Mart. No walls. No walls. R-Mart.
You know what is interesting though? Like, if we stop investing or buying from these companies, like, and they go bankrupt, then we can maybe buy their empty buildings to do what we want to do.
Well, that's a nice maneuver. Just like that empty Walmart that's in Oakland, California right now.
Yeah, that one's getting redeveloped, and they're like splitting it up, and they're gonna do a bunch of stuff. I think there's gonna be a gym that's put in there.
That's what's up. Thank God for East Oakland Grocery Co-op, because that's what we really need.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, we're building family. Yeah, that's it. That's great, man. This is a good little snippet for the day.
Yeah.
Please, especially the sisters that's commenting, man, please DM us. We want to make sure week nine, y'all locked in and leading. What about buying clubs for medicine?
We should
The
think
term
about
fierce sovereignty has been coming up for me. That's deep. That's deep.
You're gonna have to think about that.
Didn't Brother Mandela have something going on with the herbs? Or no, I know I got it. Was that kind of like a buying club thing or no?
I can't remember. I remember like they were like giving away herbs for this event they were doing like for Juneteenth.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, man, that's something. Man, please, RG Footprint. If you want to talk offline, DM us and let's see if we can put something together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. It's Hump Day. We're gonna be sliding into the weekend after this, so.
Sliding, talking about a week. Make sure y'all get y'all taxes done. Cannabis buying club, yes. Yes, we in Oakland, California. Straight up. Just like cabbage. You know what I'm saying? People need that. So let's organize it. Please DM us. We serious. RG Footprint. Don't make us DM you. DM us. Let's talk about it. Much love, family. Like everybody else, y'all got ideas, reach out to us. We on YouTube, IG, every day, Monday through Friday, 12 noon sharp. Come get it. Week 7, right? Tell your family to come on. We got like about probably 6, 7 more. And we love y'all, man. Great time. Great spending time with y'all. Lift up the queens. Oh, Ambitiously Imperfect currently works in the industry. There we go. Free herbs for everybody.